7 Central.
This is News 25 at 6.
In a story News 25 has been following, a tri-state woman says her mother's health is deteriorating after the nursing home she lives in forces her to move. The people involved in saving lives after a house explosion this past spring are honored for their efforts. And parking tickets, how the city council is considering a major hike in fines. Good evening, I'm Brad Bird.
And I'm Shelley Kirk. Tonight we bring you the latest on a story News 25 has followed regarding some residents that were moved at the Good Samaritan home.
A tri-state woman says her mother's health is going downhill after the nursing home she lives in forced her to move. News 25's Lindsay Gantner is live at Good Samaritan tonight with our top story. Lindsay?
Brad, News 25 first told you about the 7 families and their legal battle with Good Samaritan Nursing Home about 2 weeks ago after several residents on Medicaid were told they were going to need to move to a smaller wing with smaller rooms. And now the court has given them 90 days to move their relatives. Now, one family says they felt pressured to move their relative immediately. Now they say she's not doing well. Relatives say Mary Timmons used to be all smiles, but after being moved from the Good Samaritan Nursing Home's Midway Pavilion to another part of the facility early this month, they say she's taken a turn for the worse.
We can see a difference in her. My mother, she won't even open her eyes or communicate with us right now. Before she went over there, she was communicating with us and asking for hugs and kisses, and she had her eyes open. I was glad to see us.
3 of the 7 families involved in the lawsuit have already moved their family members out of Midway Pavilion and into other parts of Good Samaritan Nursing Home. Senate says it's because they've been intimidated. Sennett's sister is the power of attorney for their mother. She was going to have to be out of her room in Midway by December 29th because the facility is going to dedicate that wing to Medicare and private pay patients.
She felt intimidated and pressured to go ahead and move my mother so she would have a halfway decent room.
During the hearing 2 weeks ago, the family said they were worried the moves could affect the health of their loved ones. Good Samaritan social workers discussed ways to make the move easier for the residents. Sennett says none of it's been done.
They just moved her and that was it. I know that a paper was sent over saying what Mom likes her music, likes her fan on and stuff, and I went in there and none of that was on.
News 25 tried to contact Administrator Tom Slaybaugh, but he's out of town this week on vacation. Good Samaritan's attorney Reed Schmidt gave me this statement, quote, "I think the home has tried to do everything in order to make the relocation a good a move as possible. I can't comment on individual patients because of confidentiality. Generally, things are proceeding very well." Now, I also asked Schmidt if the workers at Good Samaritan are using the methods that they talked about in court to make residents more comfortable in their new surroundings. He then told me that he didn't want to comment on any part of the litigation. Reporting live in Evansville, Lindsay Gantner, News 25.
Also today, we have seen something today we haven't really seen in about 7 weeks. Chief Meteorologist Wayne Hart is tracking the little bit of rain that has come to the tri-state from the First Warning Doppler Weather Center. Wayne?
Well, Brad, it took a while getting here, but this is the rain that we have been waiting for, as you mentioned, for nearly 6.5 weeks now. Live News 25 First Warning Doppler radar is even showing this rain now increasing across the area. For much of the afternoon, it had been off here to the east of Highway 41. Now it's really picking up here to the west, and everything you see here on the radar is moving almost due north. Now, I've got a track on this light to moderate rain moving north across southern Illinois, leading edge just about into Carmi and Fairfield. Will be into Morganfield at 6:13, Uniontown at 6:16, and Flora at 6:34. Now, this initial surge is going to be passing just west of Evansville and Henderson, but there's lots more where this came from. It's going to be a good soaking rain for most of us. I'll be back to let you know just how much is going to fall and how long it's going to stick around, Brad. This all coming up in about 5 minutes.
Okay, we'll talk to you then. Thanks a lot, Wayne.
The Evansville City Council is meeting right now. On the agenda are 2 items, one geared to generate money, the other on how to spend it. News 25's Steve Brennan is live from the Civic Center to explain. Steve?
Well, Shelley, City Council got the ball rolling on the first idea you're talking about. Basically, it's a city sidewalk rehabilitation plan. It would rebuild different sidewalks throughout the city that people typically have complained about over the years, but it would also build ramps at every intersection in the city, something the city has to do as part of the Americans with Disabilities Act. How they're going to fund that's a whole nother story. We'll have more about that at 10 o'clock. The other proposal you may have already heard about at News 25 at 5. It's an idea by the city clerk's office to raise the prices of parking tickets in order to generate money, and along with other fees, have a self-sustaining city clerk's office just run basically on all those fees, which would obviously free up some much-needed tax money.
Explosion that killed Daisy.
I'm just doing what I have to do to keep from dipping into the general fund, which the taxpayers pay for. So all I can say is, folks, please watch where you park and be more careful.
Now, those are wise words. Coming up at News 25 at 10, like I said, we'll have more about the city sidewalk rehabilitation fund. We talked to one disabled person who says just having those ramps will change her life dramatically. Reporting live in Evansville, Steve Brennan, News 25.
An Evansville man arrested for the rape of a woman along the Pigeon Creek Greenway last month faced formal charges in court today. 20-year-old Robert Smothers was arrested after police say the victim identified him from an artist sketch and pointed him out in a police lineup. A News 25 investigation showed that Smothers was 18 years old when he was charged with child molesting and battery against a 12-year-old girl. Smothers served a year in jail on that charge and a year of probation, and that probation ended earlier this year. He's being held on $10,000 bond on the current rape charge and is due back in court November 17th. Almost 6 months to the day after a house explosion on Lincoln Avenue killed 2 people, 6 individuals are honored today for their efforts that day. News 25's Sean Bartell is live in Evansville with more on that. Sean?
And Brad, just behind us at the Civic Center is where they gave that out today. It was for the explosion that took the lives of 2 persons, Daisy Hardy and Josie Williams. But the Police Merit Commission says it could have been worse if not for the help of 6 persons. It was an interesting mix. 3 of them are first responders. 3 of them are civilians just like you and me. And they say on that day they could have saved as many as 3 lives. This plaque, and more importantly, this moment, is what ties Dave Ellington to these 5 human beings. But it is what they did here on April the 3rd that will forever brand them as heroes.
It was God's doing, you know. Things happen like they're supposed to.
On April 3rd, Ellington pulled a veteran employee from the rubble of the explosion and possibly saved his life. Incredible, mainly because Ellington is not a firefighter, he is not a police officer, simply a civilian.
We got him to the back of the house and laid him down on the ground, and by then the flames were just so intense it actually burned my mustache and hairs out of my nose. And
he is not the only hero. Chris Gilkey and firefighter Bill Hess may have saved 2 lives on that day. Minutes after the explosion, they pulled neighbors from a house next door. Both survived.
After we got them out, I went back in to see if there was anybody else in there, and the smoke put me down to the ground, so we got them out just in time.
What we heard that day was a feeling that I won't ever forget, and we were just trying to do our part.
3 others were honored today. Officer of the Evansville Police Department, Darren Richardson, as well as Vandenberg County Sheriff's Deputy Joe Beckwith and civilian Brian Kessler. Congratulations to all 6 that were awarded today. Reporting live in downtown Evansville, Sean Bartell, News 25.
The scramble to get flu shots is popping up across the country, including here in the tri-state. Now, starting October 18th, 1 week from today, the Visiting Nurses Association will begin its annual flu campaign here in the tri-state. The VNA will offer flu and pneumonia shots at more than 50 sites in Evansville, Mount Vernon, and Newburgh in Indiana, as well as Henderson in Kentucky. For more information or for site locations, you can call the VNA at the number on your screen, 812-425-3561. Several road construction projects are ongoing in Evansville, and starting today, there's another to add to that list. Crews are working on the sewer on North Weinbach, which is restricting some traffic. Both center lanes between Morgan Avenue and Bel Air are closed. And starting today, the eastbound lane of Morgan Avenue at North Weinbach Avenue will also be shut down.
Well, as the nation mourns the death of Christopher Reeve, News 25 speaks to a tri-state man who fights on, inspired by the work of the Man of Steel. That's ahead on News 25 at 6.
You're watching News 25 at 6 with anchors Brad Bird, Shelley Kirk, Chief Meteorologist Wayne Hart, and Sports Director Lance Wilkerson. This is News 25 at 6. This portion of News 25 is brought to you by St. Mary's Medical Center.
You don't have to be transported all over town or even out of town to get the care you need. St. Mary's, advanced care all in one place.
Royce Sutton on jobs.
It is the most important issue facing Vanderburgh County, providing opportunities that will keep our young in the local area. New jobs, family supporting jobs, that is my #1 priority. We must ensure that our community is prepared for the challenges in the ever-changing workplace. Our county must be prepared to take the next step. Accept the challenge. We can do better. Together, we can.
Royce Sutton for Vanderburgh County Commissioner.
There's a crisis here at home. Doctors are leaving and our families are in danger. Gordon Mag understands the problem firsthand. Mag works side by side with doctors to provide free medical care to thousands of sick children every year. Mag has helped doctors fight frivolous lawsuits that are driving up the cost of health care and forcing doctors to leave our state.
I believe doctors should spend their time caring for children. I'm Gordon Mag, and I'm running for the Illinois Supreme Court.
Christopher Reeve. His bravery and soaring spirit inspired us all. Tonight, Barbara Walters remembers her friend, his struggles, his triumphs, his remarkable love story, and hear from friends who loved him. Christopher Reeve, a tribute to courage. Tonight at 8/7 Central.
You're watching News 25 at 6 with Brad Bird and Shelley Kirk.
Christopher Reeve became the nation's most recognizable spokesman for spinal cord research.
Reeve, who died overnight of heart failure at the age of 52, led the fight to improve care and new research for spinal cord injuries since that 1995 horse riding accident left him paralyzed. Well, News 25 talked to an Owensville resident today who was left paralyzed after an automobile accident some 10 years ago. Like Christopher Reeve, Dino Garrett is paralyzed from the shoulders down. He has limited motion, though, in his arms. Garrett goes to therapy at Easter Seals Rehabilitation Center twice a week, hoping one day he will walk again. He says Reeve's life was an inspiration.
He showed us that maybe there's help out there in the future, maybe. I think this happened for a reason. I think one of these days I'll be able to overcome it.
And Garrett says advancements in stem cell research may help him regain full movement and one day walk again.
Groundbreaking is scheduled today in Terre Haute for a new Holocaust museum that will replace the one destroyed by arson last year. Holocaust survivor Eva Kor has raised nearly $300,000 to rebuild the museum she founded in 1995. She still needs about $150,000 more. The Candles Museum burned to the ground last November. Kor says parts of the burned drywall from the old museum and some burned books will be displayed in the new museum. The new structure is scheduled to be completed by February. Finally, some rain. The question is, how much more will we get?
It was certainly refreshing out there. Chief Meteorologist Wayne Hart is in next with your first morning Doppler forecast.
Character. It's how you live your life. Jim and Mary Bunning raised 9 children. Enjoy 35 grandchildren. These are the values and experiences Jim Bunning delivers for Kentucky. Expanded health care benefits for Kentucky veterans and National Guard families. Standing up to bad trade deals with China and Mexico to protect Kentucky jobs. Standing with our troops to defeat terror and protect America. Jim Bunning. Strong leadership in challenging times.
I'm Jim Bunning, and I approve this message. If you own an ATV, want an ATV, or just want to see lots of ATVs in one place, come to the ATV World's Fair presented by Suzuki. See all the latest ATV models and gear, plus accessories and gear for hunting, camping, farming, and more. See the dirt track action live on 3rd Street. Plus, see the outdoor king himself, Ted Nugent, receive the first annual ATV Image Award. Don't miss the ATV World's Fair, October 16th and 17th at the Kentucky International Convention Center. Get your tickets now.
Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. This is University of Evansville Purple Aces basketball. Season tickets are on sale now. Incredible seats are still available. Call 479-ACES and don't miss a single game, including the Veteran Community Classic November 6th, when your Purple Aces and USI face off for the first time ever. Call 479-ACES. Purple Aces basketball. Feel it.
I'm Evan Bayh, and I approve this message. Choosing a governor is an important decision. It takes someone who shares our values with a plan to meet our challenges. Joe Kernan is that man. He took charge only a year ago in tough times, and already is fighting to protect our jobs and lower drug costs. Joe's cutting government spending so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. He's making the changes that matter, and he'll work his heart out for us every day. Joe Kernan, he'll be a great governor.
Well, Wayne, I had to dust off my umbrella today and actually use it.
Yeah, this is the one. It's been about 45 days since we've seen a good soaking rain, and not everybody's got it yet, but it's on the way. Between now and maybe later tomorrow night, you're definitely going to see a good soaker, and it looks like about an inch for most of us.
Good.
Let's hope it plays out that way. We'll check it out now for you on Live News 25 First Warning Doppler radar. I've been tracking these showers throughout the daytime, and really, it was the eastern part of the viewing area that got the initial surge of rain, and that little batch is now really beginning to dry up, but Owensboro got a good soaking out of this portion of the rain. But now off to the west, the rainfall really picking up. You see these darker shades of green, even some yellows here, indicating some really moderate rain, maybe a little bit of thunder and lightning mixed in, but this is almost moving due north. So Evansville and Henderson kind of right in between the two main areas of rain, but eventually this is going to be catching us later on this evening and certainly during the day tomorrow. But right now, just a few sprinkles in the Evansville-Henderson area, perhaps a little bit more over in Newburgh and just north of Owensboro. Mount Vernon kind of on the eastern fringe of that area of rain moving across southern Illinois. And I've got a track on that rain moving almost due north at 25 miles per hour. The leading edge now just moving into Fairfield up in Wayne County is going to be into Morganfield at 619, Uniontown at 622, and Flora at 639. And I don't think anybody is complaining about this rain, certainly this time around. We'll go up to Skycam 25, looking down on the Cloverleaf here. This is the Highway 6041 interchange there in Henderson. Traffic moving along fine, but keep in mind, we're not used to driving in the rain, so be a little well, extra careful out there, and just remember how we do it on the wet pavement, because it's been a while since we've had to deal with any kind of wet roadways. And it's a little cooler than normal out there. We topped out at 67 this afternoon. Right now it's at 65 with an east wind at 9 miles per hour, and those areas that are seeing the rain off to the west are much cooler. Mount Vernon and Marion, Illinois at 57 right now, but much of the tri-state between 60 and 65, and it's going to be a fairly mild night. We're all going to settle down into the mid-50s by daybreak tomorrow morning. Now we got a big upper level low, kind of the remnants of Tropical Storm Matthew drifting up here to the north, and that's just going to pinwheel around the lower Ohio Valley through tomorrow, and that's really going to keep the chances for rain going almost up to near 100%. News 25 First Warning Future Doppler certainly painting the best chance of rain during the day tomorrow. It's going to be an off and on rainfall throughout the day as the surface low passes off to our south, and it's going to be a chilly rain. Highs only between 60 and 65, pretty much where we are right now. And then as we head into tomorrow night and Wednesday, as the low gradually pulls away to the east, we'll see the rain become a little more scattered tomorrow night. We're still going to have some scattered showers around on Wednesday, but the best chance looks to be in the morning. By in the afternoon, looks like much of the action is going to be shifting off to the east of Highway 41. And then we're going to track this cold front coming in from the northwest. It's the strongest one of the season so far. It may have some more scattered showers for late in the week and some much chillier air for later Thursday and Friday. So your News 25 First Warning Doppler forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy. The showers will stay fairly scattered this evening with the best chances west of Highway 41. Then they really begin to increase overnight with a mild low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, periods of soaking rain. That's exactly what we need. 60 to 65 the high. Tomorrow night, the rain becomes a little more scattered, 50 to 55. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Scattered showers will gradually diminish and pull away to the east, a high in the mid-60s. Cold front comes through on Thursday. A few more scattered showers. Can't rule out a few more on Friday. And we may not even see the sun again in any real sense until Saturday. And you can see the daytime highs for the end of the week struggling to make it to 60. The good news is, despite how chilly this air is going to be, we're going to have clouds around to prevent a hard freeze during the nighttime hours. But certainly a very active week weather-wise, and maybe we'll see the sun again on Saturday, but that's okay. We need this.
It's kind of like that old saying, be careful what you ask for. You might get it. We've been wanting rain. We got it now. We're going to have it for 5 days.
Yeah, but it won't be too much. We could use just about all the soaking rain we can get for a few days.
We'll be ready for the sun, though, when we finally get it. Thanks, Wayne.
All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. Here's Drew Ammon in for Lance Wilkerson tonight, and had the best record in baseball. The Cardinals are still in it.
Living up to all the hype, so to speak, and the Cardinals get great timely hitting last night, great pitching effort. Out on the West Coast, we'll revisit the Cardinals and Dodgers Game 4 next.
Live, Skycam 25 is sponsored by
Town and Country Ford, open nightly till 10, Lloyd Expressway east at I-164.
Keep it tuned to 92.5 WBKR from minute-by-minute storm tracking. The News 25 First Warning Doppler team keeps an eye on the sky, so you'll be the first to know about changes headed your way. News 25 closed captioning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank.
Autumn road trips need good tires, like Mastercraft tires from your Best One tire dealer, Southern Indiana Tire. Right now, choose Mastercraft AS4 passenger tires with a 40,000-mile limited treadwear warranty for as low as $4 for $59. And every package tire deal includes free mounting, free balance, free valve stems, and free lifetime rotation. Ask about Southern Indiana Tire's free 18-point inspection before you hit the road. Mastercraft tires from Southern Indiana Tire.
Where the wheels gotta go.
Switch to Inside Broadband. It's 50 times faster than dial-up and faster than DSL. Call now and get your first 2 months of Inside Broadband for only $19.95 a month. Plus, get free installation. What's your insight?
Hoosier values. John Jennings says they're his, but John Jennings just registered to vote in Indiana last year. In fact, he lived in Boston, Massachusetts for over 10 years. To the Boston Globe, he calls Boston home. And his campaign has taken more money from out of state than families here in Indiana. The first Hoosier value is honesty. Apparently, it's not one John Jennings learned in Boston. The National Republican Congressional Committee paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
What have 16 years of one-party rule brought us? An endless stream of scandals and corruption, a state government that's flat broke, and worst of all, an economy falling badly behind. Over 100,000 lost jobs. We're the only state in the nation that lost high-tech jobs in recent years, and working Hoosiers make thousands less than average Americans. So who's been in charge of getting and keeping jobs for the last 8 years? Joe Kernan. He's had 8 years of chances. It's time for a fresh start.
Expressway Dodge must sell all remaining new 2004s immediately. Our 2004 clearance is in overtime. We're making the best deals of the year on every new 2004 left in stock. New 2004 Ram 1500s as low as $11,990. New 04 Ram quad cabs starting at $15,990. Hurry, you'll never buy 2004s for less, and they're only at Expressway Dodge.
And now, News 25 Sports with Drew Ammon.
Well, for the third time in 5 years, the Cardinals will play for the National League pennant. Even more impressive is how the Redbirds advanced in front of a Dodger Stadium record crowd. More than 52,000 on hand last night at Chavez Ravine. St. Louis pulled away in Game 4, 6-2, behind 4 RBI from Albert Pujols, who homered for the second time in the series. Jeff Suppan threw 7 strong innings. L.A. showcased some class, though, throughout this whole series after winning the NL West.
It's just nice to win. It doesn't matter. I mean, what a class act they are, and all the way, their whole team and their manager, everybody's just unbelievable team, and we're just happy to get past the first round. 2002, we win, and hopefully we climb that ladder a little bit more, you know, and get to the World Series. But you can't take things for granted. You still want to make sure you take one game at a time and just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, the Cardinals host Game 1 of the NLCS Wednesday at Busch Stadium. They get the winner of the Astros and Braves, who play Game 5 tonight in Atlanta. Well, it's the final week of the regular season in Indiana high school football, but our News 25 Home Team Friday MVP will continue into the playoffs. Our nominees in Week 8, Cord O'Brien of Southridge, 235 yards, 12 carries for 3 touchdowns. Wright's tailback B.J. Fleming, 184 yards, also 3 scores. Brant Jackson of North, also 3 touchdowns, 137 yards rushing. Henderson County represented again after Will Fiddler won some weeks back. Vote online right now at abc25.com. We'll have the winner for you on Wednesday. Former Heritage Hills star Ken Dilger proved to be the difference yesterday at the Superdome. Dilger's 45-yard touchdown catch from Brian Greasy made it 20-7 Buccaneers. Tampa Bay held on 20-17 in New Orleans. Dilger had 3 catches for 60 yards. The Bucs are now 1-4. NASCAR heads to Charlotte this week with 6 races left in the Nextel Cup. The top 3 stay the same in the points after the stop in Kansas. Kurt Busch on top by 29 over Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jeff Gordon 3rd. Elliott Sadler, a good finish yesterday, was 4th. He's up 4 spots. Bottom 5, Tony Stewart still 6th. Matt Kenseth won it last year. He's 7th. Ryan Newman, Jimmie Johnson, then Jeremy Mayfield 5th at Kansas, but he is still 10th in the race. And tomorrow night, check out both a live and silent auction at Smoky Bones Restaurant in Evansville. Our sports director, Lance Wilkerson, will be the master of ceremonies from 6 to 8, and they'll have several items like a ball autographed by Newburgh resident Jamie Carroll of the Expos and a bat signed by former Yankees star Don Mattingly of Evansville. Should be lots of fun out there coming up tomorrow night. And Purdue football ranked 5th now in the poll.
Not bad at all. Boilermakers are setting the town on fire.
Rolling. That's right.
Thanks a lot, Drew.
We'll be right back.
Before Attorney General Steve Carter started the do not call list, my family couldn't eat dinner without that constant ringing. Now, what a difference.
Steve Carter said if we'd vote for him, he'd work hard to stop those irritating sales calls. And so we did.
My work with the do not call list makes a difference for you and millions of others, but I'm not stopping there. With your support, I'll push for a system that lets you know when a sex offender or criminal moves near you.
Vote for Steve Carter. For right prices right now, come to Kroger. Aisle after aisle, we've put yellow right price tags on even more of your favorite items. So now saving money on the products that you want and need is easier than ever before. Just be sure to look for the little yellow signs. Low prices just keep getting lower at Kroger. Kroger, right store, right price.
When you're one of 9 children, you learn not to waste a thing. It should be the same for state government. It's why Lieutenant Governor Kathy Davis and I are overhauling state government from top to bottom.
The Kernan-Davis plan? Eliminate 1/3 of all state agencies. Demand more accountability from state government. Make property tax assessments simpler and fairer. It's the first overhaul of Indiana's government in 30 years, and even Republicans are praising the Kernan-Davis plan.
News 25, taking news coverage beyond the headline.
In here, it doesn't say anything about a gag order.
No, that's just for the press release. Okay.
But I wasn't satisfied with those answers, so I went to Mr. Schmidt's office.
This radio ad hits 4 points, and News 25 puts them all to the test. Our goal is to simply give you the information you need to decide who you want to vote for.
Always digging, always watching. This is News 25.
Around here, people know a good thing when they see it. Representative Bill Grunlow works tirelessly to protect our values.
Thanks, Bill.
Preserving the sanctity of marriage, protecting the unborn.
Thanks, Bill.
Passing laws to keep sex offenders, pornographers, and meth makers out of our community.
Thanks, Bill.
State Representative Bill Grunlow, our values in action.
Just doing my job.
I'm tracking a fairly large area of rain on Live News 25 first warning Doppler radar moving across southern Illinois, almost due north. So the best chances for rain this evening will be off to the west of Highway 41, but we'll all get on the action tomorrow. Off and on rain, gradually pulling away Wednesday and then turning much cooler for the end of the week.
Okay, we're going to be singing in the rain.
You got it.
Thanks a lot, Wayne.
Coolly with some colder temperatures as well. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock tonight.
Terry Korb worked in Evansville his entire life.